Hi,
Good.
Cheryl.
Hi, Lizzie. How are you?
I'm really good, thanks. How are you?
Good. Thank you so much for joining me today. It's been a long time in the making.
It has. You're very welcome and very happy to be here.
Thank you. For those of you, first of all, who don't know me, I'm Cheryl, and I started up National Salon and Spa Recruitment about 11 years ago. My background's in the corporate industries, working with lawyers, accountants, financial planners. I had a couple of businesses. One I started up with my former husband, and we built that up from a little one-bedroom business into a multinational company. And I also had a relationship agency, which was then turned into a dating agency. So through all my ventures and I also work for a personal development company as well. So developing myself personally has always been really, really a high priority for me. As a business owner, we can know all concepts of business, and it's important to know your figures, but you need to always be putting yourself first. And I was lucky enough to encounter Lizzie about 5 years ago. She's actually my neighbour as well and my mentor. And why I believe it's so important to have a mentor is because we can't always hold ourselves accountable or know all the answers. So I think it's invaluable to outsource the experts. So this is why I've asked Lizzie to join us today. So Lizzie, would you like to briefly introduce yourself, tell us a little bit about yourself and how you can help not only our salon owners personally, also in their business, or any candidates who are looking for work or would like to work on themselves or need mentoring or help?
Yeah, sure. Thank you, Cheryl. So I'm Lizzie, and born and bred in Adelaide all of my life. And my background is 20 years working in the medical profession. So I've worked in private and public health the last 11 years in emergencies. So dealing with the front line of all sorts of accidents and emergencies and ill health, and dealing with a lot of physical health, but not only that, mental health and emotional health. So seeing a lot of patterns within the medical system over those 20 years of experience. And during that time, I had my own personal experiences as well, which, you know, through life, as you continue to tickle the boxes with career and other aspects of your life, some of those negative experiences from your past catch up with you. So that was part of my journey, in the fact that I had done really well in my career and other aspects of my life, but the more that I continued to pursue things outside of myself, the harder it was to contain what was going on personally for me. So my childhood trauma, which I openly share to people as a mentor now. And I've been doing this for nearly 5 years. And originally it was in conjunction with nursing, but it's just now what I focus on, purely to help people overcome negative past experiences and help them learn to empower themselves for life. So drawing on my professional experiences, but mainly my personal experiences, have been really valuable in helping people with their own personal journeys, and the lessons that I've come to learn along the way, and how that is so applicable to every aspect of your life. And when people learn these things, you know, change and shift so dramatically. And my whole intention is to help people with themselves. So that's where it has always begun and starts from. And we do so much of trying to change things outside of ourselves, and it works for a little while, and then all of a sudden we get a setback and we end up back to where we've started. So that frustrating process is all around your belief systems, your mindset, the experiences that have happened in your past, and how that all correlate to become the meaning and the understanding that you have about yourself. So that either healthy sense of self or not so healthy sense of self. And with that, it absolutely has that flow-on effect into business, into relationships, into other aspects of your career. If you're a candidate and you're seeking that next role or job, and you're already doubting yourself about the position, that, oh, there's 50 other applicants, and why would I be able to be the one that gets that position? Well, think about that. That's your mindset already, and your belief system sabotaging you. So of course you're not going to get that position.
And sorry to interrupt, Lizzie.
Yeah.
Same with our salon owners, because we have, as you know, hair and beauty across Australia and New Zealand. And I'm always hearing, oh, there's no one out there, can't find any staff,
Yeah.
And, with that belief system, I know personally, we have hundreds of jobs that come in all the time. And it's really good staff out there, but you've got to change your mindset before you even start the advertising process.
That's right. And part of it is that we're not naturally taught this. Like,
No.
I've had all this experience in the medical profession, but I didn't really learn life. I learned medicine. And so I didn't learn a lot about life through school or uni or anything like that. It's actually living life. And I've had an avid passion for personal growth since I was about 12. Yeah. So when people ask me, have I done courses, additional courses or programs or other certificates, I'm like, I've been studying life, for most of my life. And with that, it's like what I've come to learn, what works, what doesn't, and pass that on. And this is where when people are feeling like, oh, well, I should know this, or, I don't understand myself and maybe there's something wrong with me. It's not your fault. Like, you're not naturally taught this. And this is where, as we've had our connection, how much we talk about our little life chats and how much we've learned from each other through lived life experience. And when people can understand that that's so valuable and what can help them believe that, they can understand themselves more or apply that to their business or their next role or their health or their relationships. It's all the same kind of conditioning, and it's just understanding. You haven't had the life experience to fully understand this, and that's okay. But there are people showing up now willing to share that. And that's, for me personally, what I help people do. And in a way that they go, oh, I totally get this. Like, I wish I learned this 20 years ago. But as we know, that's not always part of your life plan. It's, we need the contrast.
Yeah, exactly. And as you said, we're not taught it in schools. So where we're going to learn all this negative behavior, and then we almost go into victim mentality.
Yeah.
It's all too hard. I'm going to give up. And, where does that get you? And let's blame the government. Let's blame our cousin. Let's blame our spouse. Let's blame our mother, or father or whatever. So and you've helped me a lot with that as well. Every time I've needed help, you've just turned up. So you've been my mentor, whether you like it or not, for the last 5 years. And, I've learned so much from you that now I can impart that knowledge on our salon owners and my friends and my family as well. But I just, we can't do anything about that. We're not educated in the school systems or through our parents or whatever, but we can certainly learn from now and change our lives and our attitude. And I think the first step, and I don't know about you, is by showing kindness. And instead of getting frustrated, I had an example recently where a family member was acting quite nastily to me out of the blue. And I worked out pretty quickly that I was not treating that person with kindness and love and attention. I was getting frustrated. So I turned that around, and now our relationship is just as beautiful as it was before. And I think if we can look at ourselves, I always say this, to everybody, we're the captain of our ship, whether it's in our lives or our business or our personal lives. And I always relate it back to our salon owners, I suppose, because that's now the industries that I deal with, but it's any industries. If something's not working in your life, and I no one wants to hear this, but the only thing that you can do is really look in the mirror.
Yeah, exactly.
And
be accountable. And it's not easy to hear or to even face, but part of that is the shift. And having had the experiences of my own life as well, and realizing like I could blame my story and my past for the life that I was living or have been living, and it only works for so long until you get to a point where you either end up being sick of yourself or sick of what you're complaining about every day and to everyone else, or they're sick of you. And what it does is force you to actually look at yourself and go, do you know what, you're the only person that can change your life. You can't change what's happened in your past, but part of that is going, well, what can I learn from it, and how can I grow and become who I really am here to be? And we naturally go into victim state mentality. That's deeply ingrained in us. And the reason that we do that is to protect ourselves, to keep ourselves safe. But it'll only last a certain amount of time. And then it gets to a point where we have so much negativity in our life, or we're projecting this onto other people, so we're not kind to ourselves, therefore we're not attracting kind people in our lives. And you think it's everyone else, when really it's actually what's going on within inside your mind and your heart. And once you start to understand all of this, then the shifts can happen, because you can't unsee it once you learn what it is. And then that flows on into, you know, oh, I've got this great streak. I've attracted a new job, or, you know, a new partner in life. My health is great. Like all of this stuff. And it's the one thing that shift is the belief within yourself. But unless you know what that is, then, you know, you're going to just stay in that victim state mentality, which is, it's a hard place to stay in for sure.
Oh, it's a horrible place to stay in. It's much nicer to be happy and grateful. And
yeah.
You know, one thing that I've known for a while now is, you know, you can't also expect other people to come in and fix everything for you. We can mentor and guide them, but the main thing that I've learned to do is to love myself. And not as an egotistical thing, but, you know, in every aspect of my life, everything that I put into my body, I go, is this good or bad for me? Am I exercising? Are the people in my life good or bad for me? Do they drain me?
Yeah.
They uplift me? Creating stronger boundaries, learning to say no. And once you really go in and put yourself first and you really love yourself, then you can love others and attract in people that, you know, are good for you. And life goes from there. That's what I've found.
Yeah, and it's so true, because it becomes a reflection of what you're thinking and feeling on the inside, and what you're believing, and then how you live that every day. And it's so simple. Like, people can try it right now with their mental attitude, that if they're feeling, you know, good about themselves, like that's the ultimate thing that we want to feel every day, is feel good. And when you feel good and then you connect with other people, they feel good, and it's this exchange of energy, and then that flows on into different areas of your life. But if you wake up and you feel bad, and then you look in the mirror and you reinforce that by having, you know, terrible self-talk and this inner dialogue and self-hatred, and listen, I've been there, I understand all of that. But then the whole day flows on in that mindset and that attitude and that energy. So then you keep attracting what you're reflecting. And it's that simple shift of just start being kind and gentle with yourself. If that's the one thing that you could do right now, when you look in the mirror, when you acknowledge that, oh my God, I just said something so horrible about myself.
Yes.
You can just turn that into something kind and be gentle. You'll feel the shift straight away. It's that quick. And it's about being aware. And this is what you're saying before, is that once you become aware of the way that you're thinking and feeling and behaving, then you're able to change what's going on if you don't, you know, fully resonate or align with it. And that's all part of this self-growth that we are learning every day.
Oh, I never stop learning, Lizzie, especially I'll go disappearing for a while and I'm with you for 2 or 3 hours. And, you know, it just keeps going. Yeah. And I think the more that you surround yourself with like-minded, one of my main things is I won't delve into gossip about people. Can't be bothered. People tell me something and they'll say, don't tell anyone. Number one, I'll forget it in 2 seconds because I've got something really important to do, and it's none of my business.
Yeah.
I don't believe in gossip. You know, I try and treat everyone kindly.
Yeah. And with the gossip, as an example, if people are doing it, you know, I actually grew up in hairdressing salons. My one side of my family is full of hairdressers. So I was an 8-9-year-old in the salon, sweeping the floors, making cups of tea, you know, rinsing off perms. So I know the culture in hairdressing salons, and there is a lot of gossip that goes on in there, but a lot of it is deflection of that person. So rather than them focusing on themselves, what actually, you know, self-improvement they could do, it's a deflection to focus on everyone else but themselves. And, you know, that's where it only holds people stuck. And you can be the person to lead by example and shift that by, you know, not engaging in it and shifting it to really valuable and meaningful conversations around life and experience, and lead by example in that.
And as I think you and I have spoken to in the past, and we won't talk for too long, otherwise we'll go on for hours.
Yes, yeah.
I think would be a really good idea is to speak to our salon owners or business owners and their staff as well about educating them on how to deal with clients when they start gossiping, and try not to be a counsellor, but to turn it around So then, they're not taking on all this negativity as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And also just being able to develop the skills to be able to help them, in a way that is through lived life experience. So you're not proclaiming to be a counselor or psychologist, but I even know when I go visit my hairdresser, I'll go in, he'll be like, Lizzie, the first 3 clients I've had have all been in tears this morning. And I'm, I've said this and I've said that, was that okay? And so I kind of mentor him to help mentor them. And it's all this exchange of information because, we're in a society where we're struggling so much with so many different things, especially the last few years. So being able to develop some skills to help people rather than just the same cycle over and over again, and that way you also don't have to take that on so much because you can have a few key suggestions for your clients or people.
Even if you just listen and let them vent.
Yeah.
Turn the hairdryer up really high. But I think there's so much that we can do, and we can keep talking forever, but we'll probably need to wrap it up soon. Is there anything else you'd like to add? Because I know you've got a special offer as well. We're working together now, and we want to introduce mentoring and coaching approach within your business. And to do that, for people to get a bit of a feel of what it really is like, we're going to run a competition, and the prize is a 30-minute mentoring call for business owners. And just to get a feel for that, and then from there we're offering mentoring ongoing, along with a few other packages that we've discussed. So just get this ball rolling and realize that people, we all need help and support at some point in our lives. Personally, obviously I help people from a personal point of view, but then that flows on into business and relationships and your health and all aspects. I cover all of that. And from your experience with the business side of things, that's why we're co-collaborating together to be able to really help people in a way that isn't the normal route, because we know the traditional methods of business and conditioning of how to succeed. We're working more on the internal mindset, attitude, belief systems. Yeah, definitely. And I did have another question for you, Lizzie. That's all right. I'll think of it next time. But what we'll do is once we get this video out, we'll put on the competition. And if anyone's got any questions, if they want to contact me directly on 0466 156 589, that's 0466 156 589, and we can answer any questions, go through anything, give you guidance, advice. What I was thinking of before, I just thought about relationships, and I thought of this when I used to have my relationship agency. We go to our friends for advice, or our mother or auntie, or someone who's giving us this advice, but it's not always wise advice. And take it on, and then we wonder why our relationships don't work out, because they're giving us all their stuff from their past. They're not giving you biased, expert opinions. So please don't listen to people that are in terrible relationships, or don't listen to them as much, perhaps. Give them proper guidance and advice. Otherwise you'll find that your relationships are all going to end up the same.
Yeah. And like I said, it's living and leading by example. And I've learned this through my life experiences, is only take advice from people who are really living and leading by example, who are genuine and kind and compassionate, who have your best interests at heart, and who live in the truth. That's the most important thing. And yes, we all want to be successful and prosperous in life, which is fantastic, but it all starts from within yourself. When you have a healthy relationship with yourself, that will completely flow on into every area of your life. And it's understanding that things that have happened in your past have a direct correlation on the relationship that you have with yourself. So when you are able to learn through that, everything changes. And so, we are mentors here to help people. And it's like, yes, you'd normally go to your best friend for advice in your personal life. Well, consider us to be able to be those friends in business and aspects of your personal life, but with that unbiased approach, because we're just going to tell you the truth and we're going to guide you along the way and support you.
Definitely. And also with nutrition as well. Lizzie has got a great background being a nurse, and she's got a great background in nutrition as well. So maybe that's something that we can help you with as well, because you need all aspects of your life to be healthy and happy.
Absolutely.
And nutrition is vital.
Yeah. Yeah, it directly impacts the way that we feel. And, you know, I'll go into it in detail in another video. But yeah, certainly had my addictive behaviors and used to binge eat and was, 20 plus kilos heavier than I am now. And, just had to learn from a mindset point of view how to shift that, because no diet worked, no exercise worked. And, that's where I had to live the experience to now be able to give back in a way that is around natural health and being kind and gentle with yourself and let the rest flow on. So.
Oh, definitely. And I suppose what I've encountered in the past is, 15 odd years of on and off of chronic fatigue and burnout.
Yeah.
So I can definitely help people overcome that as well.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
That burnout. All right. Lovely chatting.
Lovely to chat as well, Sheryl. Thank you so much.
My pleasure. I'll speak to you very soon.
Sounds good. Okay. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.